Miss Fia, I recognize this song. I hold up. I just realized I'm not actually using my backup playlist. Someone put this song in the queue. This is on my like backup playlist for songs. So I was thrown for a moment because I was like, wait a second, am I still on my backup playlist? Whenever you all put a song in that like I actually like I appreciate enough in my own time that I'm like, oh hey, yeah, it's this song. Powerwash those flowers off the planter. I mean, that should be happening, but unfortunately it doesn't. Welcome on in, Jaren. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we show for Jaren? How you holding up, you Sweet Bean? Just here for a bed. I'm going to bed soon. Understandable. Bed is important. They're very durable. Yeah, the flowers made for... These are some fucking tanky flowers. Good lord. Doing well. Just finished sculpting the details on the updated pool toy model. Heck yeah. Enjoying the squeaky things. The squeaky side of things. Is that the correct you know, adjective? I think so. Now you just have to debug why the normal map is not rendering correctly. Yes, I understand. I vaguely understand what those words mean. I'm not active in the pool toy community. That's fair. You're just a passive pool toy enjoyer. Squeak, squeak. No, not passive. But just not visible. Okay, fair enough. Borb has cleaned his feathers. Welcome back, Corvin Bubbles. Good night, Sweet Bean. Did you watch Arcane? I have not. I have no interest in the League of Legends mythos, I won't lie. It also apparently season 2 is a bit of a flop, so I don't know, like I'm very particular about my art. I have a foundational memory of watching a show where like I enjoyed the like setup and then the plot just ended up being garbage. So I'm like I'm very choosy about like what I'm choosing to watch, like what I watch even the season 1 of. Season 2 was less fun but still good. You don't need to like LOL to like Arcane. It was just a good show. Yeah, I know, but in my mind, like I can't separate it from the fact that it is ultimately just an advertisement for a product that I actually have like ethical disagreements with. Like I actively have beef with Riot as a corporation because of how they treated their workers. It's gay, therefore you have to watch it. Yes, but it's capitalistic hellhole. It is a capitalistic hellhole in and of itself, trying to criticize capitalistic hellholes. Oh yeah, right, it's kind of shit. Yeah, yeah. I saw K-pop Demon Hunters. It's pretty good. I've heard good things about K-pop Demon Hunters. Apparently, like the reaction, like the like facial animation game for K-pop Demon Hunters is really on point, which I think is impressive because facial expressions are fucking hard. I just realized this has fucking Brian David Gilbert in it, doesn't it? How the fuck am I pressure washing a tree? It's Brian David Gilbert and Tom Cardy. Yep. It is. The animation's really good. That is definitely not a tree. It's a plastic tree. Is it a shrub? I guess it's not really. Yeah, it's closer to a shrub. than it is a tree. It's just a really tall shrub. You're able to power wash the tree because it's very... Yeah, the tree is just soaking up all of the water and the dirt just gets brushed off. This does remind me of how, like, modders added in, for, like, Fallout New Vegas, modders added in specific things they saw during the, like, test at the very beginning. I'm nearing Silent Spot. Oh, good. Unfortunately, we are in our last hour, so probably won't be tonight, unfortunately. Because I want to make sure that y'all get your money worth if you're spending 30k points to annoy me.
Wah.
Wah. Sometimes you just gotta gwa. I'm just like nice and relaxed, which is like, it is weird because it hasn't happened in like months. I'm watch out. No, don't. That's like subtly such a bad scan. That's it's definitely me when I told him it was coming. Wait, is this? He kept talking about spring, and I thought it was the thing from I thought it was like a song from the producers. And I was about to be very, very concerned. Yeah, that's definitely the that was definitely Flaccid Beak. Yeah, it was the most, you definitely Flaccid Beak scanned me. Look at the sun. I don't know why I'm freaking out. I feel like I maybe I just haven't been paying attention to the rest of the maps, but I feel like this is the first time I've ever got just see the sun in a Powerwash map. What is that orb? Terrific question. Couldn't tell you. Also, bigger question. Poisoning pigeons at the park. Why can you just stare at it for so long? I think it's because we're wearing like we're wearing basically like a knight's helmet. It's basically like wearing a welder's mask. Orb. Listen, sometimes it's fun to be an orb. We power wash the sun, so it's a little damp. Damn. Tom Lehrer's still alive? Wait, actually? That footage looked like it was from like the 20s. So also he released his music to the public domain. I respect the fuck out of that. What? Dragon Force through the fire and the flames on a flute. No, that's not a flute. That is a recorder, my friend. Get your instruments right. Chad, is this a skip? I mean, it's impressive. No. I like this. You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough, let it rock. This might be a skip. Yes, skip. Alright, I'm sorry, Jared, you gotta have voted. That's 2 skip votes. But also, we got very fitting music here. Welcome on Ruffles Von Bourbon. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Duloc is definitely not a perfect place. I can't believe I still recognize this tune. We actually call a recorder the sweet flute in Portuguese. Interesting. Recorder Fire in the Flames is a low-key banger. Listen, I gotta like keep the balance, you know? We can allow meme stuff. We gotta balance out the meme stuff with the not meme stuff. I'm the avatar of weird music tastes. Is this a fucking... This might also be a skip. That is awful. That is truly terrible. We might kill her right now. Evanescence is Bring Me to Life on a fucking bagpipe. I love having ears. That's a skip. This is competently played. I like I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of bagpipes. In my mind, every bagpipe song sounds the exact fucking same, to be honest. Starkey racist against bagpipes? I guess that would make me racist against the Scottish? I'm white, so, like, your mileage may vary. I guess to be fair, I like half my bloodline does come from England, so like that might just be like baked in. It's because some of the pipes that are hang off are called drone pipes, and they only play one note. And those drones establish a musical scale. Interesting. Listen, the Scottish deserve love and representation. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter. And you are playing notes that harmonize or play off those drones to make the music. Scottish. You Scottish bastard. It's me. It's me, Edinburgh Starkey. They would Scottish bastards. That's not even the right accent. There's so many fucking accents in England. They need to like cool it. There's too many accents. You can't have that's very not Edinburgh. Exactly. I know. That's a fucking problem. You got Edinburgh. You got fucking what's the one that's just being yelled at? Oi! Give me a bag of crisps. The fucking what is the term for that? There's you got too many accents. Put some of those back. Northerner? No, it's like it's a specific city, I think. It's not Glaswegian. But no. Why the fuck does England have all of, like, they have like 70 different accents? You're the England. You're the fucking size of like the Northwest. Like you're the size of Florida. Cool it with the fucking accents because feudalism. I suppose. It's like you don't go to Florida expecting like 70 different types of accents. It's fucking nonsense. Basically what I'm saying is all of the UK needs to come together and decide on only one accent to use, and this definitely won't cause incredible amounts of bloodshed, right? Knowing English history. Yeah, but Florida was founded after social mobility. That's a fair point. Listen, I'm just trying to get the English to fight each other. Was still subject to social immobility. That's fair. English famous for its pacifism and egalitarianism. What is this? Oceania, what the fuck is... Oceania, what the fuck is this song? What is it clipping with? No longbows detected. This is called My Barn, My Rules by MCR-T, which I choose to believe is My Chemical Romance. What's the male hormone? It's not tetanus. Brain, why did you offer tetanus? Testosterone. My Chemical Romance testosterone. Tetanus. Yeah, I swear to God, there's something wrong with my brain, where like sometimes my brain will just like, does anyone else have the fucking like the thing where you're looking for a word and your brain offers you a word and it's, you know for a fact it's not the right word? Because my brain just does that shit all the fucking time. A recall's been harder for me lately. Funnily enough, the thing I struggle with the most to remember is tetanus shot equivalent actually HRT? I don't think it is. But the one that my brain always struggles to remember is describing things as like, oh, I'm trying to say this diplomatically. For whatever reason, my brain, it always offers in that moment the word democratically instead of diplomatically. Is tetanus fought with hormones? I don't think so. All right. I'm scared how like we're only 50% of the way through this mission. I guess to be fair, I have left the central area completely untouched. You know, I thought if there's a Powerwash Sims, oh, there's 100%. There's 100% like a speedrun category because you can definitely do shit like this. That's a lot of dirt. Welcome on in, Cyrus. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we shout out for Cyrus? Cyrus heckin' super Sweet Bean, and a fellow streamer. If memory serves, is it just a wolf or are you a demon wolf? Yeah, there's a lot of dirt around here though. I must eat. Good night, all. Thank you for hanging out. Sorry, Ollie, Sweet Bean. Go get some good rest, okay? Demon wolf. Yep, there. I've checked. No, tetanus shot is not HRT. You know for a fact if tetanus shot were a form of hormone replacement therapy, that people would absolutely reject getting tetanus shots and we would get a lot more deaths from tetanus. But also the kind of people who would die from tetanus, like it's not a transmissible disease, so maybe it's fine. Because like in that way they're only hurting themselves as opposed to everyone else around them, and it's very high mortality, so like... Yeah, you know, this is probably a line of thought that probably doesn't merit discussing live on stream. Where, you know, the Twitch overlords are lurking and will send me to the Shadow Realm. But no, how you doing, you sweet bean? Hopefully you've been having a good... I can't remember if you're in the States, but hopefully you've been having a nice 3-day weekend / weekend in general if you are not in the States. I am vibing. It is nice and comfy and cozy this weekend, which is a nice break from my weekends usually being a nightmare. I'm on vacation right now. Actually, I have a visitor. Ooh, nice. Is this visitor a certain fox known for thievery? Because if so, y'all are cute. No, this visitor is a deer. Oh, okay, perfect. But hopefully you had a good time. I definitely know, like, it's a lot of fun to just host friends. Admittedly, I can't really do it at my place. My apartment kind of sucks for hosting for a variety of reasons, but also the fact that I don't really upkeep it is one of them. I want to have my own space before I would set up, like, areas where, like, I'd feel comfortable hosting, you know? Gotta have all the various, like, silly, like, wall posters I have, like, posted around places. My apartment is perfect. Attached bathroom makes it easy. My roomie is also gay, so he vibes. Hell yeah. We respect a gay roomie. I live alone, so... Because my place definitely could not support 2 full-time working adults. Okay, time to be gay and be in bed. For sure, thanks for hanging out, Jared, you sweet bean. Speaking of Fox, though, I saw most of Fantastic Mr. Fox recently. I've heard good things about Fantastic Mr. Fox, but haven't seen it myself. I do increasingly absolutely adore stop-motion animation. But, like, one of the things I was the most excited to learn about was that we were getting more Pokemon Concierge, because how fucking adorable that show is. It's just, like, Pokemon Concierge is, like, such a cozy, like... It is definitely, like, it is unironic, like, wish fulfillment as an adult. The adult desire to kick your piece of shit, like, day job and just go to a resort where you take care of Pokemon. My roommate's mega gay. He's a professional drag queen. He once told me, I'll ask my Lyft drivers if their night's going well. If they answer well, then I immediately ask if I can suck their dick. That's not too forward, is it? That's, in my opinion, deep, very, very forward. I could not do random hookups. I can't do them. Like, more power to them. If, like, that level of confidence, I genuinely do find admirable. I would probably pull it back, like, 20%. Maybe ask them, like, a follow-up question first, but, like, before immediately going to, can I suck your dick? But, like, I don't know. I tend to, like, just, it's not that, like, lack confidence or anything. It's just, like, for me, it doesn't click until there, is that emotional connection. Maybe some snugs if we met at a party or something. Yeah, I would feel way more comfortable asking just, like, hey, do you want to just, like, sneak away and just do, like, some platonic cuddles? That is, like, it's honestly great when that happens. I'm 100% the same. I need to know somebody before I'm doing things with people. Those one night hookups and one night stands, like, I couldn't do them. Like, I genuinely think it's, like, fascinating the people who can do them. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's not like I'm not, like, kink shaming or anything, because, like, you know, like I said, more power to you, but I would just be, like, too anxious the whole time. For me, anxiety is the opposite of, like, a romantic mood. I'd be too busy being like, all right, he's gonna try to fucking steal my kidney, right? Like, that's why he agreed to this. My friend was trying to set up a train at LVFC. It's like, I'm like, you're crazy. That is actually wild. Hold up. I respect it, but also, goddamn. I could never. I think the key is that people don't put too much weight into it. They just embrace the hedonism of it all. I suppose that's fair, but like for me, like if I'm gonna be hedonistic, I'm just gonna grab like a fucking like tub of ice cream and be fat. Like for me, hedonism is much more like, I guess, like personal. Like I view like, I guess I view intimacy in the context of like interpersonal relationships rather than as just like a strict pleasure scenario. About being fat with a tub of hedonism, that is a very, tub of hedonism is a powerful unit of measure. Tub of hedonism is like something you would see in like a fucking like 1980s or like a 1960s fucking like sci-fi to describe like a like society that has become like decadent to the point of like obsessive like self-destruction. Hedonism requires money, which I don't have. That's also very fair. But I'm just like, if it's just like, because like pleasure is something I can like, pleasure, the dopamine serotonin response is something I can do for myself. Why would I seek someone else out for that when I can just do it myself? Like, if I'm going to get another person involved, it's because I want that intimacy. Tub of hedonism sounds like a cursed artifact. It really does. What is this song? Through patches of violet, but every Catherine has a bad setup. Oh, it's a meme. I see. That explains why I was not understanding. I do like how you can incidentally like make shadow casts. Like if I do that, you end up getting like a really interesting shadow cast. All right. So is this from the game? Is this song from the game Catherine? I'm aware of that game, but I've not played it because it was I think a PlayStation exclusive. It might be on Steam now. All right, we've officially reached the 3/5 mark. What is... The boys are back in town to kill you? Oh boy. Listen, if the boys are back in town... Oh boys. Well, after our nap, I feel alive again. Welcome back, Cass. I glad to have you sweeping. Sounds like it was a pretty good nap. I'm jealous of that because I never get those kinds of naps. I always get the kinds of naps where I wake up feeling like I've transported to another dimension. I can never do like the short naps that just like that's like you wake up feeling refreshed. I always wake up feeling like like my fucking body has been replaced with gelatin. I have to try to fucking like force myself awake. Seeing those bird perp stains reminds me, I got pooped on recently. I always got so anxious about that. Finally happened. It was in my arm, so not that bad. What, like by a bird? I used grass to wipe it off and I waited till I got home. I'll admit, I've never had anxiety about a bird pooping on me. I need a nap because I had to head home via my mom's friend's trip to church. The church that spread anti-evolution. Oh god. Kasa, your mom low-key kind of sucks. Like that's not good company to keep. Like those aren't good people to have in your life. Evolution can be real. Can't be real because Pokemon is fictional. That's it. That's the evidence. I mean, to be fair, evolution in Pokemon is a lot closer to metamorphosis. Like, actually, but also it is kind of fun because there is actually, like, incidentally, a lot of the times Pokemon will base the different Pokemon in different regions off of, like, local flora and fauna of that region. So incidentally, they do actually depict evolution through the series. It just isn't in the evolution mechanic. Because, like, for example, the different birds, like the different, normal flying birds of each region are actually, like, well adapted to their specific region. With, like, I think the example that was given was Swellow, or like Tailo and Swellow have, like, wings that are really good for, like, flying long distances because they live in, like, an archipelago area. Digimon is better at evolution than Pokemon. I don't know that that's true either. Unless, like, the only way you get a new Digimon is by, like, breeding. In a sense, I guess, the truest monster-based evolution depiction would be something like Viva Pinata. I don't know. I've never played a Viva Pinata game, but I know that you get new pinatas by, like, introducing evolutionary pressures. Monster Rancher might also be correct. I've not played Monster Rancher. I tried to explain how we aren't saying a fish grows legs overnight and gave up when they said we all spoke one language until God confused us. Latin? I mean, I'm assuming it's in reference to the biblical Tower of Babel. But even, like, that's a very weird point to bring up. That's like a red herring fallacy. But also trying to argue fallacies like that against people that would bring them up, it probably would just waste your time. I mean, to be fair, if it were any specific language, it probably would have been Aramaic. Which is, like, a very, very old, very dead language. Because I believe that was, like, one of the like, originally, like, biblical languages. Along with, like, all the Semitic languages. Fun fact, Persian is a Semitic language. I was only made aware of that somewhat recently. Was Jesus dark-skinned? I'd imagine he would be, He is Mediterranean. So, he was Mediterranean, which means that he probably had more olive skin, but you also have to remember that they were living in an area with very, very heavy, constant sunlight, and were out in that constantly. He definitely would have been very, very tan by modern comparisons. Like, I think by modern definitions, he probably would be... He would fall below the white category. Like, his skin would be dark enough where he wouldn't be immediately distinguishable as Caucasian. So, like, basically any depiction of him that, like, has him with his skin being, like, anything lighter than, like, a burnt umber is, like, probably incorrect. You have to remember, suntans were very much a thing, and there was basically nothing you could do to avoid them. Sunscreen didn't exist until, like, way, way later. The thing that gets me about the pamphlet is it's like, yes, mutations exist. DNA resists, and it's usually harmful, ergo it's impossible for mutations to eventually change one organism into another. Just, like, listen, at this point, just, like, let those people, like, hey, just remind them that, like, in order to protect themselves In order to protect themselves from tetanus, they need to take a shot, and eventually they'll sort themselves out. Also, be sure to inform them to go walk barefoot in the middle of creeks, in the middle of like industrial areas, and they'll sort themselves out. Sunscreen doesn't prevent tanning. Y'all talking about Jesus? Wait, the I thought sunscreen actually did prevent tanning, or like to a degree. Tetanus is kind of HRT. I hate it now. Big Gurge. Yeah, just tell anti-vaxxers that I probably shouldn't be going on this joke. This is a triple remix, very smooth. Just the two of us. I do respect the triple remix. This is a power move for any music designer. What's the third song? Just the two. There it is. Now you know. Like as soon as I read that question, it kicked in. This is the classic. Worst part is aside from being crazy, there were nice people. That's. It is unfortunate that like people can be nice, but also still deeply problematic. It'd be easier if we could just write them all off as monsters. And to some degree, at some point, you gotta kind of do that. I've had to write off family members before because they were just too far gone, and it was either sacrifice myself for a chance that they would figure it out or save myself. And I'm not about to sacrifice myself in the hope someone figures it out. It might be selfish, but it's also like not. It's kind of the only thing I can do at some point. Question about your goo-ness. Are you like a symbiote where you can get into someone's brain and give them protective goo armor? Yes, actually. I need to get Art of Starkey as that, but yes, he can go full symbiote mode. Not now. Caring for your mental health is not selfish. That's fair. I figure, hey, if I care for my mental health, that means it'll be easier for me to stream and provide a space for y'all. So that way, you guys have a means for, emotional outlet that's positive. Kind of contextualizing it in the knowledge that, like, if I'm not doing well, I can't take care of those I care about. And that does make it a little bit easier for me. So thank you guys for being the reason that I take care of myself. My mom has till Thanksgiving to not be the old lady from a different time. She's starting to see reality. I mean, listen. Apparently, there's like a lot of like small hospitals in small towns that are closing because of the most recent bill. So like, I think a lot of people are gonna start seeing reality, like way too late. But caring for mental health is surprisingly difficult. It really fucking is. A lot of it's like I mentioned earlier. We live in a society that actively like monetizes human suffering. So it's actively, I'm slowly deprogramming the propaganda. I wish I had that kind of patience and time for those that I care about, but... Wait, what bill? The most recent funding bill. It cut a substantial portion off of Medicaid. So there's a lot of small hospitals in like 900 population cities that are currently in the process of shutting down because they just don't have the funding without Medicaid backing. We need more military, apparently. But yeah, let's not delve in, because it is a very, very severe, like, it is a personal pain point for a lot of people in the community. People say it's in your head, and that's the problem. If it was a broken bone you could put in a cast, it would be held in a few weeks. Can't do that with mental health. Well, that's because, like I said, like, we are, like, society is structured right now to actively encourage mental health issues. Humans are not designed to deal with a long-term planning of, like, having anxiety over not being able to pay bills 3 months down the line.
No need for healing if everyone is dying in war.
To be fair, I don't think they can do a war. I don't think the states will ever do a war. It would go so fucking poorly for us. Are you talking about the... Yeah, like I said, but also I would rather we move on to a different subject, because it is genuinely a pressure point and anxiety for a lot of people. Anyways, Canada. I'm actually in the process of, I need to check to see if my education credential assessment got finished. So it's called an ECA. I went to Pride this month. It rocked. Heck yeah. You gotta celebrate those, like, like I said, like, I want the space to be, like in times of turbulence, and times of turmoil, and with fascism on the rise, every little joy that you find in life is itself a rebellion. Did you find a Canadian to marry? No. I'm applying for Canadian immigration visa status. I took the English test, and I scored a perfect on it, even though I fucked up multiple of the questions. Presumably because it's pretty clear that I'm a native Spanish or native English speaker. I'm a native. Yo estoy un hispanohablante naturale. There's a big caravan of senior queer elders. Hell yeah. I think that's genuinely super cool. We gotta celebrate the older queers, because they're the ones who fought for what we currently have. They are, like, I genuinely think senior queers are, like, some of the some of the most important members of our community. Native Spanish speaker? No, I meant native English speaker. English is my primary language. But no. I took the English test. I scored perfect on that. I'm waiting for them to get back to me on the education credential assessment, basically saying, like, hey, my college education is good. And then from there, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna submit an immigration I'm gonna submit an application for immigration, and then I'm gonna probably try to start searching for jobs. I also probably will need to submit an application for a work visa. I've had the privilege of playing a board game with Trans Elder. It was fun. Heck yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually. I do wonder, I kind of wonder almost if the like elder queer community has a little bit easier than the elder, like, straight community, because they're, you know, I think, I don't necessarily know that it's controversial to say that the queer community is a little bit better about outreach and interpersonal relations than the straight community. At the very least, like, I feel like that is, like, a deficiency that is, like, specifically a pressure point for a lot of straight people, is that they don't really have much friends. Are the straights okay? Considering apparently it's gay to fuck your wife, because that releases, what's the female hormone? There were honestly, there were some manosphere creators who were saying that something to the effect of, like, yeah, that if it's gay to fuck your wife for fun because it releases estrogen and you're not doing it to have kids. How do you not know this? Listen, I'm 2 hours and 45 minutes into a fucking 2 hours and 50 minutes into a stream. I also don't stream usually these days, so like my brain language, no, language. Names Bond, streams Bond. Names Bond stroke having stronk. Call Bondulance. But no, like sometimes I just fucking forget. Like that is honestly just the truth. Like my brain just sometimes is like, yeah, hey, you wanted to remember this word? Lamau XD. I saw a video that said that touching receipt paper releases estrogen. Fellas, is it gated poop? Apparently there is someone who is doing no poop July, which I have to imagine that is a bit. That like they're doing that to make fun of like the monthly challenges, like No Nut November. That can't be healthy. It literally is not. It will kill you. You will die. It actually, like, if you hold it in for that long, it will just kill you. Not so like I'm pretty sure that they're doing it as like a bit to like make fun of shit like No Nut November. And like, yeah, some people I don't think understand that. But also like he's doing it to like, I think he's like raising money for, I think, feminine hygiene products for a local women's care shelter, which is awesome. No poop July and impacted bowel August. Terrible. The sinners, the lot of you. All right, we have enough time in the queue for, I think, 1 to 2 more songs, depending on the length. Or at least you lose a few feet of intestine. This. I think I might have made a mistake by mentioning this person. All right. I think we have enough room for one more. Next song, 30 hours of male moaning. Absolutely would be a skip. That one I wouldn't even wait for permission. Like, there are certain things where I'm just like, that's a skip. And that would be on the list. Actually, we're making pretty decent time, all things considered. No P April. That 100% kills you. It's like how it's like the famous astronomer Tycho Brahe, who died from his bladder exploding because he didn't want to be rude at a party. Do you see this year's queer pride slash unless you sweat it instead of pissing? What do you mean the queer pride discourse? Are people mad that kinks are at Pride again? No sleep September? What? Why are you proposing all these hypothetical challenges that will just kill people? This kills the person. This kills them. Become a Sims 4 fairy, don't need to eat her shit. People were mad at he, him lesbians. So like trans people who used he, him pronouns, but were attracted to women. Am I understanding of this correctly? Because like that's fine. No, they're assigned female at birth. Yes, that's what I meant. Like assigned female at birth, attracted to women, but also trans. That's like they thought they were a lesbian, ended up mixing up pronouns. That's one of those things where it's like I can that strikes me as being like not something discourse worthy. That's not discourse. That's just like, all right, that's like a silly moment. If that's discourse, then we're fucked, man. I heard that there are cis women, lesbians who use he, him pronouns. We're cooked. This is not a good course. This is the bad course. This discourse is bad. Like, no, it's not really technically correct, but the terms really aren't for technically correct. That's the thing. It's like I use labels because for me there is validity in for me I value the fact that like these labels exist because someone else has gone through what I've gone through. But I don't use them as identification, you know? That's like that for me is like the break point. Yeah, like that's the big thing. I'm like, why would, you know, why are we giving this much of a shit? Like that is weirdly gatekeeping, but also like kind of in the opposite direction of what we usually see gatekeeping for in regards to trans folk. So I would just not engage. I'd just be like, you're weird. Anyways. I got like better shit to do with my day. Those people will lose their minds when they find out that people identify as transsexuals. Like people who are specifically attracted to people who've undergone who are transgendered. Because if so, that's a kind of fascinating. I wouldn't necessarily surprise me if that is a specific sexuality. Your weird argument destroyed. Listen, like at some point, it's not even like oh, argument destroyed. Like at some point, you just have to be like, why are you like this? You're weird. Bye. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close with this song cue. Since this last transsexual is as old as the term of transgender. I do hear a few older still. Oh, okay, so it's just an older term for transgender. Okay. I was unaware of that. And it's one of those things where it's like it might have since become a slur. I know my mom. My mom is like a very, very she tries so hard to be respectful of people. But she is a nurse who took her nursing education in the 60s, which means that the R slur nowadays, which I'm not going to say because it is ultimately a slur, that was just the medical name for someone with, a condition that caused them to have slower thought patterns. That is literally just how she was taught that idea. And so she tries to avoid it, but it does sometimes slip out.
Do you want your Big Mac with a slice of mayo or a slice of ketchup?
I don't want either. Do not describe condiments as being in slice form. Criminal behavior. Go to rat jail. I need to get a fucking prison for Chris for when he does weird shit like that. But no. It's not language, internal language rather doesn't really change overnight. There needs to be some grace given. It's why most I'm a fucking idiot. I'll admit it. For every single one of my trans friends that I've met pre-transition, I fucked up their pronouns at least once. Which isn't cool, but my friends were understanding and yeah, no, I get it. There's still some adjusting.
Chopped bread and minced butter.
Stop that. I mean, okay, chopped bread is basically just stuffing ingredient. That's just the stuff you use to make stuffing for turkeys. But no, I think at some point, there needs to be the recognition that, a word can mean more based on who's saying it.
Do you want your cheeseburger with 1 squirt of patty or 2 squirts of patty?
Stop that. That is criminal. That's some fucking AI burger ass shit right there. I say with as much of venom in my voice as I can possibly muster. But no, I think like every single person I've interacted with though has been like, yeah, you fucked up, but also, you're learning, you're trying. I think that's like the biggest thing. It's like most folk I've known who've gone through like a pronoun change are like deeply understanding, and like they don't really care if you fuck it up as long as you're trying. The concept of they them being potentially misgendering gives me anxiety because I'm programmed they them as an error for a pronoun not found, because it's often hard. To be fair, that's one of those things where it's like, if someone actually has an issue with that, it's like, it's kind of on them to express that it's something that makes them uncomfortable. It's one of those things where it's like that is what's called boundary setting behavior, and people aren't really great about doing that nowadays. But no, like if someone, is like, ideally they'd just be like, hey, you use they, them when you're referring to me. I would prefer you use she, her, he, him, it's whatever, like that's easily enough understood. And like, as long as you're making it clear, like,
Rats, where rats?
No, what's a Chris?
Where the rats?
I popped down to McDonald's today and got a squirt of burger and fries.
Chris, why are you like this? Welcome on GTA, I'm glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I think the fact that, like, so they, them is my default because it's a great catch-all, and it makes the person I'm talking to aware that, like, I genuinely do want to try to get your pronouns right. Like, I do want to try. So if they, them is not welcome, like, that, like, it's almost like a silent signal to be like, hey, tell me your proper pronouns. Or, like, sometimes I'll just ask. If I'm uncertain, I'll be like, yeah, like, what pronouns do you prefer? Like, I met a coworker, and they were introduced to me as someone's partner, but they were very femme presenting. So I was like, okay, just to make sure I'm being respectful, I would initially assume she, her, but like, do you have a preferred pronoun? And if memory serves, I think they said she, they. So like, when in doubt, I do default back to they. There's nothing wrong with using they, them as a default. It's one of those things where it's like, it usually is just like a good way to kick off like a discussion, I suppose, about like how to be respectful of people. A new coworker started recently, she, they, they're a fucking cutie. Hell yeah. I respect the fuck out of that. Like there was I went to draft Magic the Gathering last night, and there was a friend there I hadn't seen in like a couple of years, and they had a badge on that was they, them, she, her, and I was like, holy shit, like, hey, like, just to make sure I'm being respectful, I didn't realize that you also went by she, her. And they were like, yeah, it's something I'm kind of trying, I'm not sure about it. And I'm like, that's awesome. Explore that shit. Magic the Slathering. What, just slather it in butter? Starkey, what are your pronouns? He, him, ho. I'm a slut only in theory. In practice, I will die alone. Safest option, or the safest, is to use a descriptor or a name. For example, the person wearing a red shirt, or Nikita's having a barbecue. Yeah. And just don't be offended if they do correct. Like, know that it's not at all like, you haven't fucked up. Just be like, hey, like this is just, I kind of take it as like, when someone sets a boundary with me, I take it as a good thing. Because for me, that's them saying like, hey, you seem cool enough, like you seem like an adult, like a respectful enough adult that I can express something that makes me uncomfortable, and you're gonna take it well. Are you a hypothesis? Wait, that's a really fucking good joke. Wait, that kills it. That's killing it. I respect it. I respect this. I respect this new identification that has been assigned to me. But no, like, so that's like, whenever someone's like, hey, like, let me express something, I usually thank them. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, it sounds like I'm like, oh, it's like, thank you, sir, may have another. But no, like, I'm like, hey, thank you for trusting me enough to share something that makes you feel uncomfortable, so that way it can be more respectful. Can I get a refund on my gender assigned at birth? I mean, unfortunately, no, you can't get that time back, but you can, however, use it to find people who, will actually like respect you for it. Like respect your new gender. Gender's some bullshit. I as someone who's agender, I don't fucking understand all this stuff. I guess I don't have to. I just have to respect it. It's just like I don't understand what the hype about it, man. Respect is cool, but have you tried money? Money is also pretty handy. Oh, this is the perfect way to end. This is the perfect way to end the stream today. Signed Burb by grace of God.
Rats. Rats. Where the rats?
Gender was invented by Big Toilet to sell more toilets.
You could... I mean, listen, gender as it stands nowadays is very much a capitalist concept. Like, the concept of male and female toys, like boy and girl toys, is exclusively a result of capitalism. Oh my god, Poppy about to smack our ass. Listen, if this is the best possible... This is the best possible way to end a day of power washing Shrek. I mean, low-key, wildest and horny might as well mean the same thing. This is not the worst. It's not even that bad of a Cupcake remix, to be honest with you. Which I think might be a sign of how deeply fucked up my standards for Cupcake remixes are. Is y'all's pussies / bussies wet yet? I've never been more dry than in this moment. Merciful God. Gender-affirming therapy is just Poppy degrading you as the right gender. I've unironically heard... I've unironically read the phrase gender-affirming misogyny, which is wild. Like, gender-affirming misogyny is, like, is wild, right? It's real, though. I mean, to be fair, like, I know there's, like, I know, because it probably, like, is actually, like, it probably, like, lines up a little bit with people with, like, humiliation kinks. Because, like, I definitely know that there are, like, people, like, guys out there who, like the idea of being demeaned by being referred to as a lady. And there's probably some amount of, like, gender euphoria to be found in there as well. Alright, let me finish this sign real quick. Boulangerie completed. Someone tracked media knows my trans tag and asked, are you M to F or F to M? And I responded, I'm L to W, baby. I definitely have heard people, like, I think I've heard someone describe their gender as, like, yeah, my gender is a dumpster fire. And, like, that's the only description they use. And honestly, mood.